warm welcome to Bharata First. I'm frankrausanpereira. This is FRP Explained. Since you're here, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon and then all notifications so that you don't miss an update from Bharata First. I'm here to talk about India's reliance on China. Why am I talking about this and what is the reason to bring this up now is because of the Indian Olympic kits that were sponsored by Li Ning. The Indian Olympic Association or IOA has decided to scrap the kit sponsors and go with no sponsor at all to the Olympics right now because of the backlash that this has received. On Thursday last week, in the presence of the Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju, the IOA released the kits of the Indian Olympic squad for the upcoming Olympics in Tokyo. And the brand sponsor, the kit sponsor, was a Chinese company, apparel company called Li Ning. Now, this company, Li Ning, has been sponsoring Indian kits right from the previous Olympics in Rio, Brazil, 2016. They have also sponsored our kits in games after that as well, Commonwealth Games and so many of these other championships that have taken place. Of late, the Chinese products, Chinese apps and Chinese goods have come under scrutiny and have come under a lot of criticism because of what happened last year in eastern Ladakh. In June 2020, after the Galwan incident took place, the IOA came out and said that they will reconsider their deal with Li Ning because of what has happened with China. But in 2021, June, here we are, and only after a backlash did they suddenly strike them. Oh, yes, our kit sponsors a Chinese brand. Maybe we should do something about it. Isn't it a little too late? Why? What were they thinking about before that? Why didn't they do something prior to actually going ahead with the Olympics or going ahead with the sponsor for the Olympics? All these things should be sorted out and dealt with earlier, not at the nth moment and at the last moment when the public comes out and speaks about it and there is public outcry about these issues. If you're talking about national integrity, national security and how the nation comes first, this is a basic thing that should come to you first. But then there is the bigger issue of how India is reliant on China when it comes to sponsorship, when it comes to money, when it comes to investment. Some of the top brands of India, be it Flipkart, be it Oyo, be it any of these other brands that you see, Myntra and so many others, the majority stakeholder investors, not stakeholders, but the majority investment to most of these companies comes from China. So they may be Indian brands, the face may be Indian, but the sponsorship or the investment is coming from China, and China sees how India is a big market and continues to invest in the Indian startup ecosystem. So if not for the Chinese investment, many of these companies would not be able to survive and would find it very difficult to be in the business of doing business. And that is why I say that we cannot end this reliance on China. Now, after this Li Ning incident or the kit sponsorship incident took place, the Chinese Foreign Ministry also reacted and said that we should not let such kind of issues come to the fore and should not politicize every issue between India and China. I completely agree with the Foreign Ministry spokesperson of China with regards to how we should not let everything be politicized. But then, can China also give an assurance that none of their companies will be used in India to snoop or to carry out activities that do not suit us and go against our national interest? If China can give that assurance, then I think it's a good proposition for India and China to work together, because analysts and experts have been talking about how this century is Asia's century led by both India and China. So there are a lot of good things that China and India can achieve if they work together, but China needs to stop snooping and China needs to stop carrying out its anti-India activities in India. Only then can we continue to do good business with the Chinese. But in the interim, we will still be dependent on China because of the investment that comes in from there. Our companies need China, and we have to consider and take that particular aspect into consideration too. So, as far as the Olympic squad is concerned, we have 99 people who have so far qualified for the Olympics, and they are Tokyo bound. The Olympics start on July 23rd. Whether or not the Olympics will go on as scheduled, that too is a big question mark. But as of now, it is on track. And talking about on track, the IOA is now desperately looking for another sponsor to get them on the kits of our Indian sports people. So let's see how that takes place, and we wish the IOA the very best, but I also wish them some better sense, or some better sense prevails as far as their decisions are concerned, because these kind of aspects can be thought of before, and you don't have to think only after a public outrage or a public outcry. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of FRP Explains. If you like the content, you may like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then all notifications. For those of you who would like to come forward and make a contribution, you may do so by using our UPI IDs. A small contribution that you make will go a long way in us bringing you this content. So do continue to show your support. I need it now more so than ever. Also, let me know what you think about this issue in the comment section below. You can give us our feedback and suggestions as well. I'll ensure that I go through it. That's it from me. See you again next time.